Hello learners, welcome to this session. The topic for discussion in this session is Introduction to Human Computer Interaction. I am Professor V. V. Subramaniam, Director, School of Computer Information Sciences, IGNOU, New Delhi. So, in our earlier sessions, we had talked about the management information systems and then embedded systems and other kinds of systems. So, for each and every kind of system, there should be a kind of interface or else an interaction that needs, either in the form of some, in the embedded systems, if you take care, there should be some external factors which will be interacting with the embedded system, like the hardware or else the human itself or else any kind of a machine or a part. But when we talk about the human computer interface, it may be quite common that any kind of like system or else any kind of application needs this human computer. Until and unless we interact with the system, it does not function. So, let us see what exactly is the human computer interaction and what are the various characteristics, what are the components involved in the human computer interface and what are the design principles. So, those particular things we will study in this particular session. So, human computer interaction is a cross disciplinary area because it contains the engineering aspect, the psychology aspect, the ergonomics aspect, the design aspect. So, all these things combines and then it forms a kind of cross disciplinary area. One should, whenever they are designing the interfaces or interaction with the computer, all these comes into picture. One is the engineering background, the psychology background, the ergonomics, the design factors, all these things comprises. And this particular area deals with the theory, design, implementation and evaluation of the ways that humans use and interact with the computing devices. So, here we have two terms to be learned. One is the interaction term and the other is the interface term. Those both may be similar in many aspects, but we have to see the difference. What exactly is the interface and what is the interaction? Interaction is the concept to be distinguished from the other similar term called as the interface. Roughly speaking, interaction refers to the abstract model by which humans interact with the computing device for a given task, and interface is a choice of technical realization, that is the hardware or the software of such a given interaction model. So, here you can see one is talking about the abstraction of the thing and the other is talking about the technical realization, whether it may be hardware or whether it may be a software wherein which the interface needs to be provided. Thus, the letter I in human computer interaction, that is HCI, refers to both interaction as well as the interface, encompassing the abstract model and the technological methodology. HCI is a specialized branch of computer science dealing with cognitive science, human factors and ergonomics as well as the design methods. So, that is the reason why we call it as a interdisciplinary science. So, here in this figure we can see we had clearly mentioned the interface factor as well as the interaction model. Interaction, as you can see, it is a kind of abstraction, and in the interface you can see it may be a software interface just like any operating system like Windows and other kinds of system, or else a application interface, application programming interface. So, these kinds of things comes under the software interface, or else it may be a kind of hardware also, a monitor, keyboard or else a mouse. So, these are also meant for using the technical things meant for using to provide the interaction with the computer. So, coming to the background or else the history that the HCI has. HCI was first addressed in a paper written by Shakil in 1959 on ergonomics of a computer. So, this is how they had started addressing the human computer interaction in 1959. After Shakil, Licklider produced a seminal paper in 1960 called Man-Computer Symbiosis, which sees man and computer living together. And in 1969, the first HCI conference and first specialist journal was held, and in 90s, 3 other HCI journals and conferences were launched according to Daiparin, who wrote the paper in 2005. So, this was a little background of HCI. So, let us study what are the components of a human computer interaction. So, HCI addresses 4 major concepts. One is it contains the human as an individual user or else group or users working together. So, here the aspect of human is covered, and the second component is the computer like desktop computer, large scale computer system, pocket PC, embedded system, a simple tablet, whatever the case may be. A computer is involved, and the third thing we can talk about is the user interface, which is the parts of the computer that the user contacts with, and the fourth major factor is the interaction, which involves a dialogue with feedback and control throughput performing a task. So, these are the 4 components that is comprising the HCI. Then coming to the significance of human computer interaction, it has become much more important in recent years as computers have become commonplace in almost all facets of our lives. So, aside from merely making the necessary computational functionalities available, the early focus of HCI has been in how to design interaction and implement interfaces for high usability. So, here we are talking about a factor called as the usability factor, that too high usability factor. The term high usability means that the resulting interfaces are easy to use, that is one thing, efficient for the task, ensure safety and lead to a correct completion of the tasks. So, usable and efficient interaction with the computing device in turn translate to high productivity also. The simple aesthetic appeal of interfaces while satisfying the need for usability is now a critical added requirement for commercial success as well. Suppose if you take the case as an example, the family of Apple products. This can serve a better example for the HCI design. Apple products are attractive and have created a multitude of faithful followers even though their functionality may be virtually equal to their competitors. This is a kind of religion. Many people, like whenever we talk about a device, that is a phone, Apple phone or iPod or iPad, most of the people prefer. Why? Because it is having a very good aesthetical appeal of interfaces. So, there is a term nowadays very buzzing all aloud, that is the user experience. So, it can be simply, in short, you can call it as UX, that is user experience. This is nothing but a notation that not only encompasses the functional completeness, high usability and aesthetic appeal of the interactive artifact, but also its seamless integration into one's lifestyle or even creating a new one around it. So, this user experience study and evaluate how users feel about the system, looking at such things like ease of use, perception of the value of the system, its utility, efficiency in performing tasks and so forth. So, this particular user experience, whenever a system is having better user experience, most of the people prefer, whether it may be a website, whether it may be a device or whether it may be any tool, a simple embedded system or whatever the case may be. Whenever it has a greater kind of facilities or like the richest user experience, people always prefer to visit those particular devices or else those particular websites. So, let us talk about the goals of the human computer interface. So, whenever the designer thinks like in order to provide the rich user experience, the goals will be, one thing is the functional completeness. So, you should not leave behind certain options or aspects, it should be functionally complete, high usability as we had seen earlier, aesthetic appeal, compelling user experience. Even whenever you are selecting small icons also, the design of the icon, that also makes a sense. Suppose if copy icon is there, it should like say it is meant for copy after looking into the look and feel of the design of the icon. So, even the compelling user experience, the ease to use or else the factors that it is providing, the options that it is providing, the ease of use, and then the immediate responsiveness of the website whenever we are talking about the website. So, these are certain goals of the human computer interaction. You can see over here there are several aspects we had covered. All the 4 goals I had listed in figure 1.a you can see the Apple devices, and 2 like it is talking about the high usability, third one is talking about the aesthetic appeal, and fourth it is talking about the user experience factor. So, like 2 students they are playing the football game or any game, that too by looking into the picture or else looking into the screen, the LED screen, that they are directly experiencing the play that they intend to. Then coming to the impact of the human computer interaction, it is a less acknowledged fact is how HCI has had a huge impact in the history of computing and changed our daily lives. Earlier we used to have the like command user interface, and later on when Windows is introduced, it came up with the features called as the graphical user interface features. So, it made our life very easy whenever we are trying to interact with the system. It has provided totally the graphical user interface. Otherwise, in earlier days, we used to remind the commands themselves along with their syntax and the parameters that one needs to use. Suppose if you compare the MS DOS with the MS Windows, there is a huge change. It comes earlier you used to remember all the commands and you have to give the command as per the the task that one intends to do. After the introduction of the Windows, it has provided us various kinds of icons, various kinds of interfaces or mouse clicks and other kinds of events or other kinds of graphical features wherein which it made our life very much easy. It has probably the invention of the mouse that was the linchpin in the personal computer revolution, making the operation of a computer intuitive and much easier than the previous system of keyboard commands, etc. We used to struggle whenever we want to highlight a particular thing on the monitor, we used to struggle by using the keyboard commands and other forms of commands. After the introduction of the mouse, one can browse or one can even put the pointer at any point on the monitor. Like the other example we can give is the spreadsheet interface that made the business computing a huge success. The internet phenomena could not have happened without the web browser interface. So, there are several web browsers that one can talk about. So, all of them are providing very much convenience and providing very much user experience whenever we are browsing various websites. Then comes another example, the smartphones. Earlier we used to have the keypad and other kinds of things. Nowadays, whatever the phone that is coming, it is coming with the touch oriented interfaces, and it completely replaced the previous generation like the keypad kind of featured phones and other kinds of phones. The body based and action oriented interface are the new phenomena coming nowadays to play and enjoy the computer games. Human computer interaction still continues to redefine how we view, absorb, exchange, create and manipulate information to our advantage. So, you can see over here the complete transition from the command user interface till the touch screen. This is the kind of a simple example one can see the evolution of the interface. And then let us talk about the principles of human computer interaction. Despite its importance, good HCI design is generally difficult, mainly because it is multi-objective task that involves simultaneous consideration of many things such as types of users, characteristics of the task, capabilities, cost, lack of objectives or exact quantitative evaluation measures, etc. So, there may be several kinds of users. even the age difference also. The age that we are talking about also may be one of the principal design that we have to see. The characteristics of the task, the same kind of interaction that we provide for one application may not be suiting for the other applications. So, that also needs to be taken care. So, we can't specify one particular like global design kind of thing for each and every application. So, we have to see its several characteristics wherein which we call them as the principles of HCI. So, let us see one by one the each and every like principle that we have to follow in order to build a better human computer interaction. The first feature that one needs to look into is the no thigh user. So, the foremost creed in human computer interaction is to devise interaction and interfaces around the target users. So, this overall concept was well captured by the phrase no thigh user coined by Hansen in 1971. So, even though the so called user centered design approach has become a buzzword only in recent years, earlier one used to see the age of the user and other kinds of factors. This principle simply states that the interaction and the interface should cater to the needs and capabilities of the target user of the system in design. So, there are two aspects one needs to cover. One is the like cater to the needs of the user and the capabilities of the target user. So, ideally comprehensive information like age, gender, education level, social status, computing experience, cultural background about the representative target users should be collected and analyzed to determine their probable preferences, tendencies, capabilities and skill levels. Such information can be used to properly model interaction and pick up the right interface solution for the target users. Suppose if you take the case of a simple ATM machine, it provides a very minimum kind of interfaces wherein which one needs to like understand the options that it is providing. Depending upon the option, obviously whether it is a button based or else whether it is a touch based. So, users will opting the options that are displayed on the kiosk. So, this is a kind of thing wherein which it caters to various ages, various genders, various education levels, various social status, etc. So, they had used this kind of, they will be using a very minimum like interactive interface which conveys the various options to its users. So, this is a kind of example one can provide in order to cater a kind of various users interacting with the same device. So, this is one example that one can see. Suppose if you are providing the like a simple website for the kids and a website for the grown ups. So, whenever we are providing a kids like website, whenever we are concentrating to design the kids website, so most of the things most of the kids they prefer the cartoons kind of thing. So, the cartoons coming on or else popping up, popping down or else roaming here and there. So, these kinds of things they like to see on the websites of the kids. So, you can see you can differentiate between these two websites. So, one is catering to the kids and the other is catering to the grown ups. So, all these things here you can see whenever they are like targeting to certain age like between 4 to some 15 years, they had completely taken care that design aspects or else the comic aspects or else the cartoons kind of thing that they had embedded inside the website. And whenever there is a kind of a grown ups kind of thing wherein which the highlights like the videos or else the features or else the font that they had used, the color of the font, the design and other kinds of things are completely varying from the kids website. So, second aspect or else second principle of HCI is understand the task. So, another almost commonsensical principle is to base HCI design on the understanding of the task. The term task refers to the job to be accomplished by the user through use of the interactive system. In fact, understanding the task at hand is closely related to the interaction modeling and user analysis. It really boils down to identifying the sequence and structure of subtasks at an abstraction level appropriate for the typical user within the larger application context. So, you should not complicate the things. Whenever you are designing the like user interfaces, you have to design in such a way it will be easily catering on to the target task. So, here we can see a simple example. Suppose if you take the case of a mobile phone, and if you want to change the Wi-Fi connection access point to a another point wherein which it is picking up. So, for that you have to cater to two kinds of users. One is an expert user and the other is the user wherein which he is having just a layman knowledge. So, for an expert user experienced in computer networks, the task might be modeled with the detailed steps, asking the user to select from a pool of available nearby access points, and based on that particular points, the characteristics such as the signal strength, bandwidth, security level and so on. So, all these things may cater to the expert user experience. For a layman normal user or else a casual user, the subtask might only involve entering the password. It should automatically pick up the Wi-Fi connection with the strongest strength, and then it should ask only the password kind of thing, wherein which after giving the password to the device, it automatically connects to the Wi-Fi connection. So, here we had seen two kinds of aspects. So, this is how for the design should look like for the casual user as well as for the expert user. Next thing is the reducing the memory load. Designing interaction with as little memory load as possible is the strong principle that also has a theoretical basis. Humans are certainly more efficient in carrying out tasks that require less memory burden, long and short term. Keeping the user's short term memory load light is of particular importance with regard to the interface's role as a quick and easy guidance to the completion of task. So, whenever we are talking about the this kind of reduced memory load, you can think of a kind of practical application like the e-commerce application. So, where in which the user remembers a very minute kind of similar steps for each and every website, either it may be Amazon, either it may be Flipkart or else Snapdeal, whatever the e-commerce website that they have. First of all, they will select the item and then they will look for the colors and other kinds of things, or else then the next step that they will follow is the payment kind of thing. So, they have a limited kind of steps in their memory to remember, and those particular steps are common for each and every e-commerce website. So, such kind of interface or such kind of flow should be followed whenever we are talking about the principle of the human computer interaction for the e-commerce websites. Then strive for consistency. So, here you can see in the longer term, one way to unburden the memory load is to keep the consistency in as the primary concern. So, this applies to both within the application and across different applications. And the second thing is both the interaction model and the interface implementation also. A good example that we can provide over here is the Microsoft applications. Whatever the package that you take, either it may be a Word, Excel, spreadsheet, whatever the or PowerPoint, whatever the case you take, it will follow a kind of familiar interface like the file and other kind of options that they provide on the top of the menu. So, it is the factor that we call it as the consistency factor. It is the common kind of thing across the Microsoft applications we can observe. Then remind users and refresh their memory. Any significant task will involve the use of memory. So, another good strategy is to employ interfaces that gives continuous reminders of important information, thereby refresh the user's memory. So, here we can take the case of a simple this one, a kind of money transfer. So, most of us we see it is a kind of thing where in which we have to select the target source, or else we have to select the target user to whom we have to send the money, and then we have to select the amount, and then later on the next thing that we will be looking for is the inputting of the password, or else if at all there is a component of OTP also involved, then you have to include the password along with the OTP, and then you have to submit. Automatically the money will be transferred from the internet banking that we are doing. So this is a kind of limited kind of thing, and then whatever the whatever the internet banking application that we are looking for, the steps that we are following is a kind of limited steps, that to a kind of reminding steps, that to whenever we refresh the memory, the same kind of span, contextual spans will occur. Coming to the next point, that is the prevent error reversal of action. While supporting a quick completion of the task is important, error-free operation is equally important. So as such, the interaction interface should be designed to avoid confusion or mental overload. Naturally, all of the aforementioned principles apply here. In addition, one effective technique is to present or solicit only a relevant information or action as required at a given time. Suppose, for example, you may take as an inactive menu items. Like suppose if a pop-up window has appeared and there is one particular like two buttons on the pop-up window, that is, one is submit and the other one is cancel. So whenever we select the appropriate command button, so that needs to be inactivated, because it is executing the operation that we intend to. So obviously it should show a kind of inactive, whenever we press it, it should show a kind of inactiveness or else disabled kind of thing, wherein which it conveys a kind of meaning that the operation is on, and we had selected this particular command button. So these particular things needs to be taken care while doing the design of the human computer interaction. The next one is the naturalness. So this is the final major HCI principles in order to favor natural interaction and the natural interfaces. The naturalness refers to a trait that is reflective of various operations in our everyday life. Like suppose if you take the case of a simple interface, suppose if there is a label called as enter your name, the naturalness is nothing but it has to provide a interface wherein which it should contain a text box. So with different like the size that one needs to have, like the size may be 25 or it may be catering to 30. So whenever we are seeing the label like the age kind of thing, so it should always provide a kind of simple small text box wherein which it allows us to enter the age. Like the gender selection. So whenever we talk about the gender selection kind of thing, obviously we look for a option button. So male, female and others. So among these three, one will be selected. So such kind of naturalness, whenever we talk about the interfaces, it should come along with the kind of naturalness wherein which the expectations of the users needs to be met. So these are some of the 7 principles, we can say the principles of the human computer interaction. So before concluding this particular session, let us once again recap. We started our discussion with the definition of the human computer interaction, a little bit of history, and what exactly are the principles one need to follow in order to divide or in order to provide a very good human computer interaction. So with this I conclude this particular session. Happy learning.